I want to be very clear on something before I get into the topic of this video today. If you have a top 5 pick in this Dynasty rookie class, or if you even have a second rounder, early second rounder, mid second rounder in the 2024 Dynasty rookie class, you need to stay with that pick. There's lots of good talent in this class, both in the middle rounds of the class and in the early parts of the class right here. I really like a lot of these guys. But I'm telling you this right now. If you have the 106 to the 112, if you're in that type of range, or if you have players like AJ Brown, who I discussed as a sell high guy earlier last week, or you have a guy like T. Higgins or Deebo Samuel, I would sell those assets to get 2025 draft capital and start stockpiling picks for the next Dynasty rookie class. I'm going to get into why today and the guys that I think that you should be targeting in this next year's Dynasty rookie class. And of course, this is a new channel exclusively for Dynasty, so please go down there and drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel to show your support if you get value from this video today. So with the 2025 Dynasty rookie class, let's say that you're in the, like I said, the 106 to 112 range this year, and you're not looking like you're going to be able to get guys like Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're looking for a wide receiver though. So who are the guys that are around that range right now? Well, you look at the draft board on Sleeper right now. You're looking at guys like Brian Thomas right now. You're looking at Troy Franklin right now. Maybe you're looking at Adonai Mitchell right now. So when I'm looking at those guys, in comparison to some guys I'm about to go through in the 2025 class, I don't think it's a no-brainer to me who I would rather have between those guys and what's available in 2025 if you get the right pick by stockpiling the picks that you can get in 2025 for draft capital and assets this year. So when I'm looking at a guy like Brian Thomas, yes, very talented, but we don't know where he's going to land. With these guys that I'm about to go through, I'd rather have these guys. So one of the big guys that was originally supposed to, I think, come out in 2024, but he decided to stay another year because he missed a decent part of He missed all of the month of October, basically, and he missed a good part of his junior year, was Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. Now, Ohio State is it's a school that I've said is a wide receiver factory in fantasy football. Like, think about all the great talent we've gotten out of Ohio State University over the past, 5 years at the wide receiver position. Them, LSU, SMU is kind of a low-key wide receiver factory. Those schools are putting out talent almost every single year. Emeka Egbuka is no different. No different at all. So what I want to do with Emeka Egbuka here, and the next guy I'm going to talk about, is I want to run through two of the most important critical factors in my wide receiver prospect model. I've been developing this model for a long time now, and it's helped me get a good hit rate on mid-round guys such as Jaden Reed, such as Josh Downs, such as Tank Dell. I've been developing this model for years, and I'm currently using it on this year's class. So the two of the most important things here. I'm looking at the college breakout year of these guys. That's a big one for me because it shows us how early or how late a player was able to not just be a relevant contributor, but a positive, impactful, key member of the offense in college football. So the earlier that the player breaks out, the better it's going to be, because that also shows us how soon or how late a player can hit in fantasy football at the next level. So I'm looking for earlier guys at this point. And Emeka Egbuka, I fully believe if he was not sitting behind Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith-Njigba, his freshman season, he would have been a freshman breakout, but he ended up being a sophomore breakout because of the fact that he had those beautiful talents in front of him. Emeka Egbuka, sophomore breakout, over 1,100 yards in that sophomore season with CJ Stroud, and he was excellent. He was absolutely fantastic in 2022. Now, Emeka Egbuka, the other thing I'm looking for with these prospects is I am looking for how they evaluated, how they broke down in their film breakdown. What was the film breakdown grade is the next thing. Now, I can tell you exactly what I'm looking for with film because I understand this. Film is very subjective. Film is a very subjective topic in fantasy football, in Dynasty Fantasy Football. What I am looking for at the wide receiver position specifically is how diverse of a route tree they were running. Can they go over the top? Can they come underneath? Can they go crossing over the middle of the field? What was the route tree like? Did they run a complete route tree, Or was it just a little bit mid because they're really good at one thing, but they can't do it all? This is what I'm looking for with wide receivers. Emeka Egbuka, he's grading out as an A- right now. A- right now. If he was coming out in this year's class, I would have him graded above guys like Brian Thomas, guys like Troy Franklin, guys like Adonai Mitchell. He would be above all of those guys right now. So he's case in point number one of why I believe that getting 2025 draft capital is the move if you're specifically looking for a wide receiver as a rookie in the next year or two. And again, breaking down the film on all these rookies this year. So join the Patreon today if you want to watch me break down those rookies and find the best guys in the middle to early rounds, to late rounds at the wide receiver position. Now, Luther Burden out of Mizzou is the next wide receiver that I am looking at here. Luther Burden, you know what's funny about Luther Burden is that based on the talent around him and based on watching him on film, he really reminds me of Zay Flowers a little bit. Zay Flowers a couple years ago was coming out of Boston College. And if you remember watching Zay Flowers on film, this guy did everything for his offense. He was everything for that Boston College offense, and they had no quarterback to throw it downfield to him. So he ran a lot of shorter routes that were like wide receiver screens, him coming up the middle. There was a lot of reverses. That was what Zay Flowers was doing. So as a prospect, he wasn't viewed in the same class as like a Jordan Addison or a Jackson Smith-Njigba. Truth be told, based on what he did in 2023, this guy is a great football player. That's what we're looking at here with Luther Burden out of Mizzou. So his college breakout year, sophomore year, same as Emeka Egbuka, this guy was on fire right away. Emeka Egbuka, Luther Burden, they're both early breakouts. They hit that metric for me. The film breakdown grade, A- again. Like I said, this guy is very, very similar to Zay Flowers. He does a lot for his team. And I don't gather that Mizzou's quarterback is all that great. So it makes a lot of sense to me why he does a lot of things closer to the line of scrimmage. But make it clear, this guy can go over the top too. And he's tough. This guy can break through tackles. Luther Burden does a lot of things really, really well on film when you watch this guy. Over the top, underneath, over the middle. This guy, all they have to do is scheme him open or do their best to get him in single coverage. Luther Burden's gonna do some work over the middle of the field and in the shorter routes as well. So again, Luther Burden is a guy I would take over guys like Troy Franklin, over guys like Adonai Mitchell. This is what I would do here. At the wide receiver position, I think it's actually not quite as deep as 2024, but there's still some good talent in this class. And these are just two main examples right here. Now, let's say that you're looking at the running back position. And the running back position in this class, not exactly strong. It's not exactly a super hyped class like 2023 was. And it's just swamped with talent at the running back position. That's not what we're looking at here in 2024. So what does the talent look like in 2025? Well, one of the guys, similar situation to Emeka Egbuka at the wide receiver position, Raheem Sanders out of Arkansas, originally was supposed to come out in 2024. Again, he missed about half of his season in 2023. So he missed a bunch of time, didn't have the time to show as much as he did in 2022. But look at what this guy did in 2022 in a full season. 222 carries, 6.5 yards per carry at 1,400 rushing yards. This guy is a good runner, and he's also big. This guy's probably around 230, 240 pounds, over 6 feet tall. So this guy can freaking run over you, and he can get yards after the catch as well. This guy is a good receiving back. He showed a receiving profile in 2022 as well. 28 receptions, 271 yards, 9.7 yards per reception. Raheem Sanders can ball, man. I really like Raheem Sanders. Again, this is a guy that I would take over a bunch of guys like Blake Corum. I would rather have Raheem Sanders over guys like Blake Corum, Bucky Irving, a lot of the other top wide receiver running back prospects in this class. Raheem Sanders looks much better to me. Now, another guy, just to give you another example, Donovan Edwards out of Michigan. Now, obviously, with Blake Corum, you didn't see too much of Donovan Edwards in 2023. But make no mistake, this guy has a receiving profile, man. And he's bigger than guys like Bucky Irving. Donovan Edwards, 30 receptions, 249 yards receiving in 2023. 18 receptions, 200 yards receiving in 2022. And as a freshman, 20 receptions, 265 yards. This guy, again, good receiving back right here. Now, we'll have to see how he comes out as a full-time rusher in 2024. But Donovan Edwards is a guy that I already have my eye on if I'm looking for an upgrade and get a receiving back who's got receiving upside at the next level. So, yes, we talked about wide receivers. We talked about running backs. What if you need a quarterback or a tight end? Now, as much as I like the 2025 class at the running back and wide receiver position so far, that's not the draft to get a quarterback or a tight end in. Not that there's not talent, but you're looking at better talent in 2024. The quarterbacks in 2025, they're just not as good. Shedeur Sanders is the best one we're looking at right now. And Drew Allar out of Penn State, I like him too. But the talent at quarterback, I think, is deeper in 2024. Tight end specifically as well. You've got two good ones that we really like this year. You've got Bowers and Sanders. In 2025, not really looking at a ton of talent here. So if you're looking for quarterback or tight end, you're better off in 2024. But again, what if you've got 106, 107, 110? What if you've got something like that? What if you've got AJ Brown? I'm telling you guys, sell them and start stockpiling 2025 draft picks here. Because yes, you're not going to get like 5 first-round picks in 2025 off of one trade. Stockpiling picks takes multiple trades, multiple deals to get done. Get the ball rolling today and get a 2025 draft pick here. Because I'm telling you guys, wide receivers, running backs, there's talent here. And if you're sitting there with an inopportune pick in that 106 to 111, 112 range, you can get a bunch of draft capital in 2025. Trade up and get a top 3 pick in the 2025 class. You can walk away with guys like Emeka Egbuka, like Luther Burden at the wide receiver position, like Raheem Sanders, like Donovan Edwards. This is an opportunistic move right here, and it's better to start forward thinking now than have it come around to 2025 and you've only got 1 or 2 picks in that Dynasty rookie class. Now, let me know what you think of this video in the comments below and what questions you have about the 2025 Dynasty rookie class.